Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. As Anglia Ruskin's academic registrar, it is both my privilege and pleasure to welcome you all to the Cambridge Corn Exchange for this evening's ARU graduation ceremony. We've all gathered here today to celebrate the success of the class of 2019. The origins of graduation ceremonies can be traced back to the 15th century, and the tradition has evolved since. Roughly translated, graduation means taking a step. And graduation symbolizes the move of the former student, now called a graduand, into a new role in society as a graduate, where they will use the skills and talents developed during their studies to contribute to the future advancement of society. Each graduate will cross the stage and shake hands with the Deputy Vice-Chancellor to symbolise the transition to this new role. We will applaud them for their success so far, but also in anticipation of the contribution we expect them to make to society in the future. At the conclusion of our ceremony, the Deputy Vice-Chancellor will formally admit all new graduates to the community of scholars, and as new members of that community, as the academic procession leaves the stage, the new graduates will join the procession, and that will bring our ceremony to a close. During proceedings, those graduating with higher research awards will have their hoods placed upon them by the Deputy Vice-Chancellor to indicate that they have attained the very highest levels of academic achievement. So, with all the introductions over, we can now begin our formal proceedings. I hereby declare the ceremony to be in session, and I call upon the Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Professor Aletta Norval, to address you all. Deputy Vice-Chancellor.
Distinguished guests, graduates, family and friends, colleagues, as Deputy Vice-Chancellor of Anglia Ruskin University, it's my very great pleasure to join you tonight at your graduation ceremony. First of all, to all those graduating this evening, my congratulations on reaching this milestone and graduating from your chosen course. Today is a day of great celebration. It's an opportunity for each of you to take stock, reflect, and celebrate your achievements to date, but also to look forward to the exciting careers that stretch out in front of you. And whatever career you enter, you are the future. You now have the opportunity and the responsibility to embrace and promote change, to implement new ideas and new ways of working. The passion, energy, and commitment that led you to undertake your ARU degree and gave you the strength and resilience to succeed in that task can now be applied to building your careers and realizing your aspirations. Whether your future lies in education, health, social care, business, law, science, technology, or the arts, with your passion and your expertise, you can now really make a difference, helping society address the challenges that we all face, nationally and globally. And we will have succeeded in our task if we have helped you to build the skills, confidence, and determination to influence and lead your professions, to promote change, and to achieve your ambitions. As well as serving our students, we at ARU are fully committed to serving the region and the communities in which we are based. Economic development, social inclusion, business support, tackling health inequalities, these are all fundamentally important elements of our mission, transforming lives through innovative, inclusive, and entrepreneurial education and research. And our reach extends well beyond the eastern region in which we are based. We are a genuinely global community of students and researchers. We attract students from over 170 different countries, and they flourish with us because they find a second home with us. And our researchers, too, have worldwide impact and reach. Our Vision and Eye Research Unit, for instance, is leading life-changing research into the avoidance and management of diabetic retinopathy across South Asia. And colleagues in our Medical Technology Research Center have recently won funding to develop accurate and affordable wearable technologies to monitor the respiratory rates of newborn infants in refugee camps. So in our research, as in our education, we have real, tangible impact on people's lives. And that's something we can all be proud of. The last academic year has been very successful for ARU. We opened our new School of Medicine in Essex, opened law clinics in Cambridge and Chelmsford. We became the UK's second largest university provider of degree apprenticeships, and we were named one of the top 150 universities in the world for health education. And we were chosen to host the 2020 British Science Festival. Our researchers have won grants from world-class funders, including the European Research Council, the Leverhulme Trust, the Alzheimer's Society, and the Medical Research Council. And we have won awards, including a Churchill Fellowship, an OBE, and a BAFTA nomination. And our students too have won innumerable prizes, including the Victoria and Albert Illustration Award, a Royal Television Society Award, and the Chartered Management Institute's Apprentice of the Year Award. But above all, we define our success as a university by the positive impact we have on the lives of our students and the communities we serve. And for us to succeed, we need your support as our newest alumni. Because the support we receive from you, our alumni, and our friends really matter, adding value to the education we provide to our students and supporting our researchers to push boundaries. So please help us build links with your networks and your professions and spread the word about your university. Before I close, I would like to pay special tribute to your family and friends who have provided you with their constant support throughout your education. You and we owe them our sincere gratitude. I would also like to acknowledge and thank my colleagues, the staff right across Anglia University, for their tireless commitment and professionalism and their profound contribution to all aspects of your courses. So once again, my warmest congratulations to you all. I do hope you enjoy your evening, and I wish you well wherever your ARU degree takes you. Please do stay in touch. ARU is your university for life, and our success and your success are inextricably intertwined. Thank you.
Deputy Vice-Chancellor, thank you. So now we come to our main business for this evening's ceremony, the presentation of those receiving awards. And I now call upon Pro-Vice-Chancellor and Dean of Faculty, Professor Laurie Butler, to come to the podium to present to the Deputy Vice-Chancellor graduates from the Faculty of Science and Engineering. Professor Butler.
Deputy Vice-Chancellor, it is my pleasure to present to you graduands from the Faculty of Science and Engineering. For the award of Bachelor of Science with Honours in Coaching for Performance in Football, Darren Beale. Terry James Foley. Paige Philippa Forster. Andrew Bruce Hatcher. George Robert Lapsley. Barry Allen James Ritson. Keaton Matthew Tate Wood. For the award of Bachelor of Science with Honours in Sport and Exercise Science, Raquel Baraldo Banals. Henry Beresford. Corey Max Butler. Also receiving the School of Psychology and Sports Science Award, William Chalkley. Daniel Stewart Clipsham. Coyote Dennis. Dirk Dugdale. Kieran Fowler. Jade Freeman. Brandon Haynes. Rihanna Hilton. J. Thomas Knight. Ellen Marie Baldwin Lockwood. Jack Loveday. Alexander Maskell. Tom Peter McIntosh. Shane Panther. Carlos Ribas Ascona. Madison Page Rowland. Tobias Featherstone Rudkin. Max Russell. Matthew Smith. Benjamin Tracy. For the award of Bachelor of Science with Honours Sports Coaching and Physical Education, also receiving the School of Psychology and Sports Science, Sports Coaching and Physical Education Award, Joseph Matthew Asensi. Scarlett Eyre. Adam Banham. Daniel Barler. Mason Boyce. Benjamin Andrew Caldwell. Callum Carter. Luke Howard Catchpole. Thomas Coley. Jordan Duncombe. Natalie Evangelou. Angelica Eve Facecci. Ozazi Scott Imaid. Martin Jones. Siobhan Kennedy. Justin Levers. Jack Layton. Sam Lines. Isaac Maynard. Owen McQuaid. Bethany Morrell. Georgia Phillipson. Callum Pinner. Joshua Poland. Sam Powers. Simon Gnomley Teddy C. Jordan Tombling. Alexander Tonison. For the award of Master of Science, Sport and Exercise Science, Chelsea Beckford. Georgia Rosie Dunn. Kerry Icky. Thomas Irish. Helena Knock. Harrison Kent Levers. Luke Thomas Maddox. Enrico Picconi. James William John Richardson. Rio Will. For the award of Bachelor of Science with Honours in Psychology, Christana Adeneyi. Oluwasori Adeneyi. Alessio Anulli. Kieran Lucas Barron. Ellis Bartram. Shadi Bass. Sabina Begum. Sam Bolton. Eleanor Ann Butterley. Demi Carter. Manraj Singh Chahal. Caitlin Chalmers. Lucy Church. Emma Ann Clardy. Izzy Clegg. Shian Rianne Connolly. Jennifer Christine Cook. Shian Daniels Mitchell. Shannon Dennis. Natasha Egan Renanyi. Bryony May Gemmell. Moira Geraghty. Kelsey Michelle Goslin. Lauren Richardson. Naomi Hamer. Georgina Hardy. Ross Hollingworth. Penny Howman. Also receiving the School of Psychology and Sports Science British Psychological Society Award, Ellie Hutchins. Jade Inman. Rihanna James. Madiwa Kanga. Amy Kavanagh. Megan Kenny. Becky Knight. Angelika Maria Consola. Johanna Kreber. Nathaniel Lovell. Francesca Manucci. Zoe Maxwell. Holly McLean. Amber Miller. Joel Moxey. Biljana Nadenova. Mental Kakuhana Nakubi. Louisa Nicholson Scott. Bo Odebiyi. Stephanie Pass. Wani Pillai. Megan Louise Preston. Kirsty Rafferty. Sophie Rayner. Verity Richards. Abigail Richmond. Jenna Roberson. James Robbie. Michael Kenneth Ross Rolfling. Sky Rolfe. Natasha Lorelei Rose. Molly Ann Ryan. Anika Sagu. Sinem Sahin. Sanga Sarbaz. Chloe Sheehan. Natasha Shon. J. Anthony Sayazon. Phoebe Simpson. Caitlin Smith. Stella Stern. Natalie Tanzarella. Ulrika Velagiva. Jessica Marie Vini. Thomas George Westwood. Ruby Williams. Eleanor Woods. Rebecca Wooten. Hava Yilmaz. Deputy Vice-Chancellor, that partially completes the list of graduates for me to present to you today.
Professor Butler, thank you. We have many distinguished academic staff at ARU, and I should now like to ask one of them, Professor Viren Swamy, to come to the podium to offer a few words of reflection. Professor Swamy.
Deputy Vice-Chancellor, distinguished guests and graduates. I have been asked to give you some advice for the future, a motivational speech to inspire you as you go off to do whatever you're about to do. And I'd prepared just such a speech earlier this week. And I woke up this morning and I thought, I'm not really the right person for this role. You see, the thing is, I'm not quite convinced that I know what my own future is. And there are days when I wake up and I'm worried about my own future. There have been days this year when I've been so debilitated by fear and anxiety about what's going to happen that I haven't wanted to do really very much at all. So for me to stand here and give you any advice about the future would be incredibly disingenuous. I don't intend to give you any moral advice either. I'm not going to tell you that everything's going to be all right, because life just isn't like that. Instead, I'm going to tell you about something that happened 20 years ago. 20 years ago today, I graduated with a degree in psychology, and I decided not to go to my graduation ceremony. I didn't want to go to my graduation ceremony because I thought graduation ceremonies were all just symbolic. They kind of are meaningless. Well, I thought they were anyway. I thought I would watch my lecturers wear funny hats and silly gowns. I'd walk on stage for 10 seconds and I'd pick up a fake certificate, and that would be it. So I didn't want to go to my graduation ceremony. I thought it was all purely symbolic, all just for show. And I've regretted that decision ever since. Looking back, I was partly correct that graduation ceremonies are symbolic, but they are so symbolic of so very much. One thing that graduation ceremonies are symbolic of is the fact that you are all now graduates and that we consider you to be graduates. But they symbolize so much more than that. Graduation ceremonies symbolize everything that you've achieved. They symbolize everything that you've strived for, all your successes, all your hard work, all your ambitions, and your dedication to knowledge and to self-improvement. Graduation ceremonies also symbolize all the experiences you've gained over the past 3 or more years. They symbolize all the joys you've experienced, all the new friends you've made, all the new things you've tried. They symbolize the way you've pushed yourself to succeed, the joy and the elation that you felt in achieving something, and in particular, achieving something that may not have seemed achievable not so very long ago. And yes, graduation ceremonies also symbolize all the difficulties you faced. They symbolize the heartache, the disappointment, the sadness that you've gone through, and all the sadness that you felt during the course of the past 3 or more years. They symbolize those nights when you probably sat at home on your own thinking whether you could do this, and thinking that this may not be the role for you, or the job for you, or the thing you'd like to do in life. They symbolize all the tears you cried. They symbolize all the anxiety, the fears, the disappointments, the heartache, and perhaps even your lack of self-compassion. But the symbol of graduation ceremonies goes beyond each of you as individuals. These ceremonies also symbolize all the partnerships that you have formed with each other. They symbolize as well the honor and support that you have gained from lots of people who care about you and who love you. Today's a recognition not just of what you have achieved, but all the support that you have received from other people. And for us, your lecturers, today symbolizes not just the fact that we think you are now worthy of degrees, but also everything that you have taught us. The knowledge, the experiences, the joys and sorrows that you have shared with us, and that make each and every single one of you unforgettable. So yes, graduation ceremonies are symbolic, but they are symbolic of so much. If nothing else, they are markers of a stage in your life when you can proudly say that you accomplished something. And in that achieving, you have changed not just your lives, but the lives of so many people around you. Today we celebrate you as individuals, and we celebrate you as a group, and we remember everything that you have gone through, good and bad, to be here today. I know I said I wouldn't be giving you any advice. I am a lecturer, and some habits are really difficult to break. If I could go back in time and talk to the younger version of myself, I would tell him to go to his graduation ceremony. But more than that, I would tell that younger version of myself not to worry about the future for just one day, to enjoy the moment, to take the time to remember and acknowledge everything that he accomplished. And that is my advice to all of you as well. Today isn't the day to worry about your futures. There will be lots of time for that. Today, go and enjoy the moment. Be proud of yourselves as we are proud of you. Remember everything that you've gone through. Remember everyone who supported you to get here. And most of all, be proud of all your achievements. So today is your day. Enjoy it however you choose.
Professor Swami, thank you. We now continue with our main business, the presentation of those receiving awards. And once again, I call upon Pro-Vice-Chancellor and Dean of Faculty, Professor Laurie Butler, to return to the podium to continue to present to the Deputy Vice-Chancellor graduates from the Faculty of Science and Engineering. Professor Butler.
Deputy Vice-Chancellor, it's my pleasure to present to you graduates from the Faculty of Science and Engineering. For the award of Bachelor of Science with Honours in Psychological Studies, Aisha Malasuela. For the award of Bachelor of Science with Honours in Psychology and Criminology, Ruth Afrain Kesey. Shahida Begum. Amy Bugg. Samantha Carpenter. Remy Amber Cheeseman. Shapi Chowdhury. Danielle Copping. Elise Dorr. Tia Gabidon. Catherine Hancock. Bridget Ivers. Olivia Grace Mallet. Bethany Wood. For the award of Bachelor of Science, Abnormal and Clinical Psychology, Naresh Nithurasan Siva Kumar. For the award of Bachelor of Science with Honours Abnormal and Clinical Psychology, Abdullah Al-Wahadi. Catherine Louise Bate. Kat Brooks. Jade Cameron. Lois Clark Cutler. Doris Denton West. Sally Ann Emily Field. Lauren Green. Abigail Dawn Haynes. Barbara Hadorova. Heidi Siobhan Jennings. Zoe McBeath. Daniel Mears. Paul Newbury. Charlotte O'Shea. Claire Riemann Schneider. Ariana Segura. Arundathi Shan. Eleanor Louise Stevens. Amy Jordan Towner. For the award of Master of Science Foundations in Clinical Psychology, Farhad Hassil H. Alzmari. Lucy Rebecca Coote. Joshua Donington. Catherine Jane Gerks. Megan Hall. Katie Joan Hope. Kevin Jacob. Tyler Catherine Landman. Rebecca Leventhal. Farah Sierra Binti Mohammed. Rama Rafi. Victoria May Ann Slater. Lucy Amanda Stubbings. Andrea Shabova. For the award of Master of Science Applied Positive Psychology, Tiffany Jade Ballou. Louisa Muriel Botka. Michael Carthy. Nicola Jane Chapman. Alice Faye Dashow. Sarah Hall. Jane Jennison. Larissa Nelly Kalish. Kavita Itcha Dawn Malhotra. Demetra Musoli. Maria Frederica Roberts. Jenny Sanderson. Gudrun Margaret Snore-Dottier. Catherine Jane Stacey. Ivana Stulik. Thornhilda Ida Thorandir Dottier. Micah Vestrate. For the award of Postgraduate Certificate Clinical Child Psychology, Nurul Ayashila Tul Filza Binti Abda Kahir. For the award of Master of Science Clinical Child Psychology, Eliana Azar. Anissa Bibba. Claire Marie Bonner. Kaylee Louise Clark. Stephanie Dernigog Hussain. Inam El Hoot. Ilana Louise Foreman. Amanda Jane Henderson. Stafrula Losifidi. Ashlisha Kasula. Christina Grace Loveday. Sonia Maggiore. Pendo Matonga. Tanya Sachdeva. Emily Shepherd. Elena Talia. For the award of Master of Science, Cognitive and Clinical Neuroscience, Catherine Rosbrook. Julia Goronska. Utkarsh Gupta. Farnaz Hakiminejad. Charlotte Liberty Jones. Richard James Lee. Tara Elaine Jane Francis Phillips. For the award of Master of Science, Consumer Psychology, Julia Bonesso. Babs Crane. Jessica Ann Finney. Ivona Agnieszka Paklikowska. Victoria Nicole Peters. For the award of Master of Science and Research Methods in Psychology, Ava Marie Bird-Spahn. 。 . Emma Elizabeth Hayward. Amy Elizabeth Phillips. For the award of Master of Science, Animal Behaviour Applications for Conservation, Amin Dantala Aliyu. Deputy Vice-Chancellor, it is my pleasure to present those who have been awarded higher research degrees. For the award of Doctor of Philosophy with a thesis entitled The Role of Posterior Parietal Activity in Multisensory Integration of Episodic Contexts, Matone Fiati. For the award of Doctor of Philosophy with a thesis entitled Developing and Evaluating Queer Vibe, an online intervention to empower trans and non-binary youth, Sam Martin. The award of Doctor of Philosophy with a thesis entitled Interactions Involving People with Severe Intellectual Disabilities, Claire Nicholson. For the award of Doctor of Philosophy with a thesis entitled Visual Search Strategies of Judo Coaches, Paul James Robertson. Deputy Vice-Chancellor, that completes the list of graduates present to you today.
Certainly the liveliest and loudest ceremony of the day. Well done, everybody. Thank you. Professor Butler, thank you. Well, congratulations, graduates. Very well done on your achievements. There will, however, been a number of graduates with whom you studied who, for one reason or another, have been unable to attend tonight's ceremony. We should acknowledge their success, so will you join me in their absence in congratulating them on their achievements? We are now nearing the end of our ceremony, but first I should like to ask one of our wonderful new graduates, Paul Newbury, to come to the podium to propose a vote of thanks on behalf of all of those receiving awards today. Paul.
Vice-Chancellor, honoured guests, ladies and gentlemen, fellow graduates, it is my honour to offer the vote of thanks on behalf of the students graduating here today. I would like to begin by offering thanks to the lecturers and the teaching staff who have taught and supported us from Freshers' Week through to this proud achievement of graduation. Thanking them for imparting their knowledge and guidance, for their patience and empathy. Thank you for all you have done for us. Secondly, the staff, without whom the university would not run. The administration staff, the student services, the student union. The library staff, without whom the knowledge of so many varied subjects would not be attainable, and the technicians and maintenance staff who keep the university in one piece and running. Of course, the cafeteria staff deserve a mention for keeping everyone topped up with caffeine. And for any that I have not mentioned, we thank you all. I would now like to express gratitude to our guests, our friends and our families for all they have provided us with, not just during university, but beyond. For your inspiration and support, we are truly grateful. Without you, there would be no award, and it is your belief and help that carries us through the doubts and stresses that we have all felt. For this, there is not enough words to thank you, but we offer our heartfelt thanks. Finally, my fellow graduates, congratulations. We came here to Anglia Ruskin University from many different diverse backgrounds. We had followed many paths to reach the point where our paths did cross. Some long and winding, some short and direct. From Freshers' Week, there has been many joys, adventures, stresses and woes. We have helped one another through the rough and together enjoyed some joys. Many of us have made friendships that will last a lifetime, finding a common bond that belies our differences. We have found strength in our diversity, and I hope this lesson can be carried into our futures, accepting our differences and celebrating our similarities. This, of course, is a day for joy and congratulations as we separate one last time on our paths to the future. I wish you all a joyous future and great success in your coming days. Thank you to you all and enjoy this wonderful achievement.
Paul, thank you and very well done. I now call for one final time on the Deputy Vice-Chancellor to address the new graduates. Deputy Vice-Chancellor.
And now will all those who have been presented to me here on stage please stand. As Deputy Vice-Chancellor of Anglia Ruskin University, I hereby admit you to the degrees, diplomas and awards for which you have been presented to me this evening. As a member now of the community of scholars, take all that you have learned into society and uphold the values of freedom of thought and scholarship. Our warmest congratulations to you all.
Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end, to a lively and loud ceremony. I now hereby declare proceedings closed. Can I ask everyone now to stand for the academic procession?